This is CBC Here and Now.
It's the 24th of May and you've got to get away no matter the weather. And we will have the weather forecast coming up live here from Pippi Park. The full details on your forecast and a little bit of May 24 fun coming up.
Mud Lake. The water level is dropping, but not nearly enough for residents to return home.
How do you get more people to recycle? The city of Mount Pearl appears to have found an answer.
Mother Nature was not very nice to us this year.
Campers aren't the only ones grumbling about the weather.
Well, the weather this weekend may not have you thinking summer thoughts, but at least you can now start planning for this year's food fishery.
That's right. Today, DFO announced the rules, and the rules for this year look pretty much like they did last year. There are no big changes.
Here and now's Peter Cowan explains why.
Last year, DFO announced it was going to bring in some sort of a tag system for this year's food fishery, but it turns out no one seems to like that idea. During the consultations, they heard lots of concerns, from the fact that it was a money grab, to the fact that the tags end up being thrown in the water and become pollution, to the fact that they could be tampered with. So what did they do? Well, this year they announced that basically the rules from last year are going to be the rules again for this year.
The idea was to float that out there, and then we did the consultations. And as I said in the speech, we listened to what people had to say. There wasn't a big appetite for the tag system, so we decided not to go with the tag system.
The current rules may only last for this summer. DFO is now raising the idea of some sort of licensing system. So you'd have to buy a license and then report in how many fish you catch. The idea is that they want the science behind this in order to help them understand just how many cod are being taken out of the water. But it's promising there will be a new round of consultations before any new rules come into effect. Peter Cowan, CBC News, Holyrood.
If you're looking to plan your summer, the food fishery will open on July 1st this year and will be open every weekend during July and August. It will also be open for 3 full weeks in July and a week in September for a total of 46 days. The catch limits are also the same. You can take 5 fish a day and there's a limit of 15 per boat. And new this year, tour operators can apply for an increased trip limit, meaning more tourists may be able to catch a cod when they visit.
We have an update on the single vehicle crash in the Shea Heights neighborhood of St. John's 2 days ago. The passenger that was ejected from the Corvette has died. The 27-year-old man was thrown from the car when it crashed and rolled over on Blackhead Road just before noon on Wednesday. He later died in hospital. The accident left a trail of debris nearly 1 kilometer long. The 22-year-old driver was also taken to hospital. He was not ejected from the vehicle during the crash. Police confirmed yesterday that the passenger who died was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. The Royal Newfoundland Constabulary said it shared that information with the public to help spread the word about seatbelt safety.
Well, Mud Lake residents are now into their 3rd day of being displaced from their homes. And while water levels have dropped, as you can see here from this real-time Environment Canada graph, the Churchill River is still too high. And as this shot from the province's Mud Lake webcam shows, things are jammed up. Earlier today, Labrador MP Yvonne Jones flew over Mud Lake to see the damage firsthand. And clearly, water levels need to drop quite a bit before the 50 or so residents can return, or any sort of meaningful cleanup can begin. Once Jones was back in Happy Valley Goose Bay, she and local MHA Perry Trimper met with the displaced residents. Now, our Jacob Barker was at that meeting and he's joining us now. So Jacob, what issues were raised?
Well, there are so many questions left unanswered for those that have been displaced by the floods there in Mud Lake. Today, they got their chance to put those questions and their concerns to their local representatives.
I guess it's unorganized chaos here today because everything was thrown out there, and I think our MP walked away with a lot more questions. She definitely didn't have many answers, you know, other than we're going to try, we're going to check, and that's good, but we wanted a little bit more clarity, which we didn't get.
Every time you or another minister was asked, your answers are, well, we need to deal with the immediate first. We'll see what happens. Whereas in Quebec, they were like, yes, we're gonna help them financially. We're gonna compensate. Can you say that now?
We're going to do everything in our power. It's not my authority. There is a federal provincial disaster relief fund, and we're certainly in the vicinity of millions of dollars. And once you bust through a certain threshold, this is when there's an opportunity.
We have something they have a vested interest in, and I'm sorry, they can't be independent, and you need an assessment to be independent. This has to come. It has to be a federal government assessment.
The investigation and the assessment is all led by the provincial government. No one knows what really happened here. We can all speculate because we have local knowledge and we live there, and we know and understand how the climate works, how the lands works, what we can expect year over year. So until there is a full investigation which determines what happened here, there's going to be no one who can say if you should go back or not go back.
My first day out was yesterday, and them gates was open. I witnessed the gates.
Thank you.
There's no snow, no rain here. I've never seen this happen before.
That's right. That's right. That's true enough.
Now that worker, Darren Hill, he works at the Muskrat Falls site, he says he's willing to put his job on the line to speak out. Nalcor again saying today that those gates will come up and come down to preserve that 21.5 meter level in the reservoir there. Another thing to mention is that there has been a relief fund that has been started for those that have been evacuated from Mud Lake. At last check, it was up to about $1,300. Reporting live for Here and Now in Happy Valley Goose Bay, I'm Jacob Barker.
The Newfoundland and Labrador Medical Association says doctors are disappointed government may change the way they're paid to administer flu shots in their office. Right now, family doctors can give the flu vaccine in their office and bill MCP $17 for the service. Now, government is looking at eliminating that service fee code. Doctors would still be able to give the flu shots as part of a regular office visit, which costs nearly twice as much. Last year, around 130,000 flu shots were given in the province. About 65,000 of those were administered by family doctors, and half of those shots were billed under the MCP fee code that may be eliminated. The NLMA is concerned some fee-for-service doctors will simply stop providing the flu vaccine.
We do have grave concerns about our patients being able to access their flu shots. So family doctors, as part of their preventative primary ongoing health care, offer flu vaccines to their patients. So that will be for patients who are anywhere from 6 months of age to our elderly seniors who are maybe housebound, who have issues with mobility and are unable to leave their homes, patients with chronic disease. And so we have grave concerns about our patients being able to access flu shots.
Now, the Medical Association says government may end up paying more by having to set up more flu clinics in rural and urban areas.
Taxi owners are breathing a sigh of relief. On Monday, they met with Service NL Minister Perry Trimper to discuss how to bring down insurance rates. And late yesterday, they got some good news. There will not be a 40% increase in insurance premiums this year. The Facility Association, a non-profit group that insures high-risk users, has deferred its application to increase rates. There was no explanation given by the group, but some taxi drivers say it happened because government is reviewing the entire automobile insurance system.
There was another armed robbery in St. John's last night. Police officers rushed to the city center of St. John's last evening after reports that a man used a knife to hold up a Shoppers Drug Mart on Freshwater Road. And after a short investigation, police officers located the suspect in a home just a minute away from the drugstore. This was the scene outside that home on Empire Avenue. Moments before cameras arrived, a man was taken out of the house, handcuffed, and placed in an ambulance. The 38-year-old is facing a number of charges, including armed robbery.
An experiment to get more people in Mount Pearl to recycle their household garbage seems to be working. The city came up with a 3-month pilot project in an effort to cut down on the amount of garbage going to the landfill. Here and Now, Cease Hare reports.
This story goes back to the fall of 2013, almost 4 years ago, when Mount Pearl brought in automated garbage collection. Once implemented, something happened. Less recycling was making its way to the curb.
Was it as a result of the containers? Well, you know, anecdotally, of course, you don't have empirical evidence, but anecdotally you say, yes, that's what's happened.
All the garbage from Mount Pearl heading to Robin Hood Bay is weighed. And back then, about 16% of what people brought to the curb was in blue bags. And then it went down to only 9%. So to reverse that trend, the city came up with a clear bag bylaw, a pilot project, and it seems to be working. Recycling is now back to 15%, close to where it was pre-containers. But Mayor Sims says there's still a way to go.
Kind of gets us back to where we were. So we're getting a little more ambitious, and we're starting to say, well, you know, obviously, we're going to have to recognize that some enforcement is going to be required. We're going to have to start taking a look around and doing a few garbage audits and things of that nature. But I don't, you know, see us running around with garbage police chasing our citizens.
Susan Mason has lived in Mount Pearl for years and supports the Clear Bag pilot project. She said her initial concerns about the price of clear bags in the end was a non-issue. The only downside she can think of is the unsightly way the garbage looks when it's time to start a new bag.
It's pretty gross.
But that's the only downside.
Yes, it's not a big deal. I don't change the garbage anyway. I let my husband do that.
The Clear Bag pilot project is scheduled to clue up the end of May, and what the city does next, Sims says, will be determined likely in early June. Cease here, CBC News, St. John's.
Talk about a story with a big heart. Remember the blue whale that washed ashore at Rocky Harbour 3 years ago? Well, its heart is now part of a display at the Royal Ontario Museum. The details after the break.
It's the May 24th long weekend. Coming up, I'll have your Saturday forecast details. We'll run you through the entire long weekend a little later on the show. And of course, we're here at Pippi Park. We're going to talk to some campers about really roughing it in the woods.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, remember the 2 blue whale carcasses that washed ashore on the island's west coast a few years ago?
One of the whales has provided a rare gift to the Royal Ontario Museum. A delicate but fascinating operation took place at the museum yesterday. The preserved heart of the blue whale was uncrated and unveiled before going on display.
Wow, so just how rare is this? Well, this heart is the only specimen of its kind anywhere in the world.
Blue whales don't often get preserved. They usually sink when they die. They don't beach, and when they do beach, they're usually in an advanced state of decay. So there's really not much left to preserve except perhaps the skeleton. We were extremely lucky, and it had an extraordinary circumstance with the Rocky Harbor whale in that it seemed to be very well preserved at the time we started our necropsy.
Now, blue whales are the largest animals on Earth, and the size of that heart certainly puts that into perspective.
The only one in the world,
Yeah,
eh?
amazing.
The heart is featured in the exhibit, which is called Out of the Depths, the Blue Whale Story.
Well, it's enough to make any golfer cry. The major golf courses in the St. John's area are still closed.
And yes, Ryan Snoddon, it's because of the weather. Here now's Glenn Payette reports.
There's something missing from this picture. Golfers. They'd normally be out on the links this late in May.
Mother Nature was not very nice to us this year. We had a lot of ice coverage that came in early December and didn't leave for the entire season.
Moran says ice suffocated the grass, causing damage to fairways and greens.
Normally, grass can survive anywhere between 30 and 60 days covered in ice, and this year we had over 100 days of ice coverage. So we anticipated not looking very good, and we were right, unfortunately.
Not only has the damage delayed the opening at Ballyhaley, but also the courses in Pippi Park, the 2 at Clovelly, and Glendenning in West End St. John's. This sign at Ballyhaley pretty much says it all. Because of the damage, the courses have taken a financial hit.
I think just golf in general has suffered probably in the St. John's region here. We'd be busy this time of year. Our members would have joined by now. We'd get some green fee play. Our junior programs would be running, all that kind of stuff. So it definitely has a big effect on all those things.
On the driving range at Clovelly, Brent Rolfe is working on his swing in anticipation of eventually getting out.
Of course, you'll like to get out as soon as you can, but I guess you got to take care of the grass too.
Over at Ballyhaley, Brian Grant is also trying to keep his game in shape on the range. He says he'll make up the lost time.
I'll just have to play more often.
To find out when the courses will open, keep checking their websites, but it's likely to be several more weeks for most. Clovelly and Glendenning will be offering some form of credit to their members for the delayed opening. Moran says Ballyhaley is still working out what it might do. Glenn Payette, CBC News, St. John's.
This weather update is brought to you by the Take Charge Business Efficiency Program. Over 400 businesses have saved energy and taken charge of their bottom line. Find out how you can too.
And now let's check in with Ryan, who is in the great outdoors tonight. He's at a campground right in the heart of St. John's. Ryan?
Thank you very much, Debbie. Yeah, Pippi Park is a great place for just that reason, and we're going to talk to Leanne Northcott about the fact that St. John's Pippi Park just is a perfect pair for that very reason. A beautiful park right in the heart of St. John's. We'll get to that in a moment. First, we got to talk about the weather that everybody's going to be dealing with, not only here at Pippi Park, but all across the province. There's a lot to talk about. Why don't we start with the warnings? And yes, it wouldn't be a May 24th weekend without a snowfall warning. We are literally talking about snowfall warnings in effect for the Northern Peninsula, the Bayvert Peninsula, and also the Straits up through the Cartwright region and towards the Trans-Labrador Highway. Special weather statements in effect elsewhere. Rainfall warnings are in effect for the Bayvert Peninsula, the Northern Peninsula, and southeastern parts of Labrador. And we're talking about potential here of over 50 millimeters of rain for coastal areas. The snowfall warning will be inland areas that see the potential for more than 15 to 20 centimeters. There's the system. Moving through slowly but surely. It's a southerly flow ahead of it. That's why temperatures haven't been too bad across the island today. It's the northerly flow on the back side of this low that we have to watch out for. And you can see the radar there. Some pretty steady showers, even a few rumbles of thunder rolling up over western parts of Newfoundland as we speak. Here on the east coast, we've been watching a couple of showers across the Avalon. A couple of little spits and spurts here, but overall pretty quiet. Still at risk of a shower or period of drizzle this evening and into the overnight. And here's how it will play out with your future tracker. Watches this low. Doesn't really move quickly. It just hits the northeast coast as we move into Saturday morning, and it kind of hovers around, and that will allow that colder air and that snow to move into western Newfoundland for the Saturday afternoon. And then it's Saturday evening into the overnight. Central Newfoundland gets into some of that snow mixing in, and yes, by the time we get to Sunday morning, the risk of some flurries even here in the east. There are your morning temperatures, so overall quite mild across most of the island, but even by tomorrow morning could see some flurries mixing in Corner Brook, especially the Northern Peninsula and southeastern Labrador. And a look at your forecast for tomorrow, you can see where temperatures are going to be as warm as 6, 7, 8 degrees across the Avalon, Clarenville. I think we'll see a chance of a shower early, and then it's mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon. So really the best day of the weekend for sure is Saturday here in the east. There are those temperatures that'll fall in central towards western Newfoundland, the Northern Peninsula, and yes, that rain and snow mix for the Northern Peninsula and southeastern Labrador. Higher elevations, it's heavy snow. It's steady rain along parts of the coast. Happy Valley Goose Bay likely 5 centimeters tomorrow, but some clearing out for Sunday, and there are those flurries that are clearing in Lab West. And a quick look, we will get into the weekend details in a little more detail, but there is the outlook for Saturday night into Sunday. Again, primarily it is central Grand Falls, Windsor, and northwest Newfoundland and southeastern Labrador looking at that snow. And a little outlook there to the next 3 days, Sunday and into Monday. Again, we'll break this down in a little more detail, but certainly the Monday time period looking the best day for Labrador and towards western parts of Newfoundland. So we will get into that in a little bit more detail coming up a little bit later in the show. We are here, of course, at Pippi Park, and pleased to be joined by Leanne Northcott, who is the campground manager here. And you've been the campground manager for a few years now, 2001?
I came with the park in 2001, yeah.
So my first question, are you seeing over that time period, you've obviously seen a ton of weather, especially May 24th weekend. Do you see an uptick when the weather is good and, the opposite when the weather's bad?
Well, for May 24, it's pretty much we still have a full park. Rain, shine, snow, you name it, people are still coming. They're still going to come in, enjoy May 24, and make the best of it no matter what the weather is.
And so the weather becomes a factor more probably for the months of June and maybe September on the tail end?
Yes, it would. Definitely. It would make somewhat of a, some kind of difference to us in our bookings and everything. But I mean, in July and August, we have mainly it's all out of province visitors, a lot of tourists from all over the world, and rain or shine, I mean, they have their plans made and they're coming to see Newfoundland. So. And
how about this weekend? Is it packed here?
We're pretty well filled for this weekend. We had a few cancellations, but then we had a few more people stopping in, looking for sites, so thankfully we're able to accommodate them, and yeah, she's pretty well full here. It's great.
You mentioned people from out of province as well, but I'm guessing you kind of see some of the regulars that come year after year after year?
Oh, I'd say in the 16 years that I've been here, every May 24, it's pretty well the same regulars, in and out. They're always here. They usually come back again Labor Day, and we love to see them come. We're more like a family now.
And what's the atmosphere like? Is there a lot of kids here or older? What would you say the demographic?
There's a mixture of everybody. I mean, you have young couples, you have people who's been here 50 years with us who keeps returning every May 24, and a lot of families, a lot of young families, extended families, just a good bunch of people.
Awesome. My last question is, have you seen over the last 10 to 15 years, have you seen a decrease in the folks tenting and an uptick in the folks who are with the nice big rigs?
Most definitely. When I first started here, there was mainly tents, pop-ups, little tent trailers, and now, I mean, the rigs that come through here could be as big as 45 feet or bigger sometimes. So most definitely they're getting bigger, but thankfully we're still able to accommodate them, so it's great.
Yeah, well, and of course the beauty there is no matter the weather, you really can enjoy the weekend. So thank you very much, Leanne. Thanks for talking to us. We're going to meet the Pikes, who are, have graciously invited us onto their site here. We've got the fire going. We're going to talk to them about what they love most about camping. More to come here from Pippi Park in St. John's, and of course I'll have that Sunday, Monday, and long-range forecast coming up.
All that sugar and pop and other drinks is killing us. But now health professionals have banded together to try to get that message out there. We'll have that after the break. Welcome back. Well, healthcare professionals in the province have launched this campaign that takes aim at sugary drinks. The Heart and Stroke Foundation, the Canadian Cancer Society, dentists, and dental hygienists say sugar is killing us, and a lot of it is coming from surprising sources. Here and Now's Mark Quinn reports.
20 cubes of sugar. That's 80 grams of sugar. Sugar promotes obesity, and obesity can increase your risk for certain types of cancer. And of course, we know sugary drinks can ruin your teeth. So if you want to avoid a visit here, the sugary drink industry probably isn't your friend.
How is this a child-sized soda? Well, it's roughly the size of a 2-year-old child if the child were liquefied. It's a real bargain at $1.59.
Of course, this is Parks and Rec, a comedy, and maybe an exaggeration, but you get the point.
But everyone should buy it.
Now, healthcare professionals in Newfoundland and Labrador are banding together to help fight big sugar. And they say sugar isn't only in the obvious places, like soft drinks.
A few sneaky ones. People think things like smoothies, they don't realize, especially when they're pre-manufactured, not that you're making them themselves, they feel like they're making a healthy choice, but they don't realize how big of a sugar bomb some of those smoothies are.
And other drinks that you might also think are a healthy alternative, like vitamin water, contain about 8 cubes of sugar. This group of doctors, dentists, and dental hygienists are calling on people to take the Sugar Cube Challenge.
We should limit our intake of free sugar to 12 teaspoons or 12 cubes a day, and to reduce it to under 6 cubes to be even healthier.
They're saying that using this guide, you should try to reduce your sugar intake to less than 10% of your diet. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, not all campers spend the Victoria Day weekend nestled amongst the trees in a park. Some prefer rocks and roadways. Gravel pit camping is a tradition for some May-2-4 revelers, and next is a story about a family of die-hard gravel pit campers that we found deep in the CBC archives. This gem goes back nearly 30 years. Here's reporter April Stevens in 1988.
These people are all members of one family. All but one of the 14 live in Shea Heights in St. John's. Right now, they're getting together the way they love best, in a gravel pit within spitting distance of the Trans-Canada Highway. It may not be everyone's idea of paradise, but the location has its own perks to someone like Elizabeth St. John.
I love the cars.
Any particular ones you like best? The particular kind of car or trailers?
Yeah, the Winnebagos. That's true. No, I love the transports going through.
It seems there's a special kind of camaraderie between the family and truckers.
They'll hold down for the youngsters. They'll always give us a beat, right? Yeah.
So I guess they know you by now, huh?
I guess they do.
And the family knows them. They even have a few favorites.
Massive feed. We know a few hands from them, right? Damn ass. They belong to us.
Where there's traffic, there's noise. But that doesn't seem to bother the family.
We went to bed about 11:30, 12:15, and I slept like a log, you know.
I guess you figure it's like, you know, there's a bit of noise and you're not alone.
The family doesn't seem to worry that the grandchildren will run out onto the highway.
One of their parents tell them not to go here or there. They understand, they listen, right?
It's not that the family has anything against taking the kids to traditional campsites. They often spend longer holidays in provincial parks. But on weekends, it's the highway that provides the backdrop for their horseshoe games. Each weekend, the horseshoes fall in front of a different stretch of road. The family has a name for each location. There's $100 Pond, most people know it as Patty's Pond, and this Rocky Garden.
Well, I put a name on it because there's all rocks around here, no grass. So I just stuck the name on it, Rocky Garden.
And though the garden is rocky, to the family it's the perfect place to spend a weekend.
Well, I love the country.
But here you are, in the middle of the country, camp beside a road. Does that make sense?
Camp beside the road. Well, if we're all together, right, and have a good time, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
April Stevens, CBC News, in Rocky Garden on the Trans-Canada Highway near St. John's.
Well, she's only 12 and already a St. John's girl is one of the best gymnasts in Eastern Canada. You'll meet her in about 3 minutes. A 12-year-old gymnast from St. John's was recognized for a big accomplishment this afternoon. This is Sarah Pace. She is the first female to win gold all around at the Eastern Canadian Gymnastics Championships earlier this month in New Brunswick. She also took home silver on vault and beam and bronze on the bars. Her team, which included Jane Young, Alexandra Collins, and Haley Carlson, also won silver, which was another first for this province in that category. They competed against gymnasts from Ontario, Quebec, and the Atlantic provinces. Pace says she was surprised to learn she was the first to win all-around gold.
I know that I was the first one, and it was really exciting when it happened, and I thank you to my coaches, Devon Nelson and Pee Wee. It just feels really nice to represent my province and to be the first one to do it. I spend around 21 hours every week training, and I just try to do what I do in the gym every single time, so it's really fun going there.
And congratulations to Sarah Pace. Well, the lineup for a 3-day series of concerts on George Street for Canada Day celebrations was announced today, and here's who is on stage. Simple Plan, Honeymoon Suite, and Helix are the headliners. Simple Plan, the pop-punk band from Montreal, will be on stage Friday, June 30th. There is a special children's concert on Saturday afternoon, July 1st. But that night, Canadian 80s rockers Honeymoon Suite and Helix will perform. And on Sunday afternoon, July 2nd, there will be a local Battle of the Bands. Concert costs are between $25 and $30, while other events are free. And you can get more information on the George Street Live website.
The weather update is brought to you by Belltone Hearing Service St. John's, helping the world hear better.
And we're sure hopeful that the weather will be nice in St. John's by the time July 1st rolls around for all those concerts. Hopefully better than what we're getting this weekend, Ryan, who's going to talk all about that from Pippi Park tonight. And I guess get a sense of why people still go camping when the weather isn't great. Many people there this evening, Ryan?
Yeah, you know what, as Leanne mentioned, this place is nearly sold out despite the fact that the weather is looking less than ideal. And that just speaks to the nature of May 24th weekend. No matter the weather, you're getting out of town and just kicking back and relaxing with some friends and family. And we will talk to the Pikes, who have graciously invited us into their site here in just a moment. But first, let's talk about the weather that they're going to be dealing with. And as I've been mentioning to them, tomorrow is the day. Take it out and enjoy here in the east. There's the low that we're watching right now, which is rolling across the island from west to east, but boy, it is taking its time. It's like an unwelcome guest in your tent and your campsite that just does not want to leave, and it's really, really going to take its time. Note where it is this evening, just rolling onto the west coast. Note where it is on Saturday, the northeast coast, and it's really not moving at all in a hurry. By Saturday morning, there it is along the northeast coast. That heaviest rain, the northern peninsula, southeastern Labrador. Heavy snow for inland areas for the southeast and over the northern peninsula as well, hence the snowfall warning. Saturday afternoon, that snow really starts to mix in over Corner Brook and the west coast. I think we're starting to see flurries in central by then. And for Saturday evening into the overnight, that's when we'll really start to see the potential for some accumulation in central. There are your forecast highs for tomorrow. Again, temperatures will fall for Corner Brook, Grand Falls, Windsor, and Gander. Down closer to 2 degrees by the end of the day. Happy Valley Goose Bay will see some snow tomorrow, but clearing. And again, 8 degrees here in St. John's. Chance of some drizzle in the morning, but some sun into the afternoon. And same thing for the Burin Peninsula. The sun will make an appearance. It's not going to be the dominant feature. I think clouds still dominate, but I had to put it in there for at least something to look forward to and hope for. Now, as we roll forward, Saturday evening into the overnight, there is that snow that will then wrap in and become a little more prevalent in central Newfoundland. Note the model here that is still showing that green rain along parts of the coast. The snow here is a really tough forecast. Temperatures are going to be just above the freezing mark, so those areas that do see snow, I think, will be the higher elevations, Grand Falls, Windsor, back towards the Bayvert Peninsula. And also up, of course, the Northern Peninsula and southeastern Labrador. There are your forecast highs for Sunday, just 3 degrees, St. John's to Corner Brook through Central. And that northerly wind is the big thing I want to stress here. Gusts 60, 70, even 80 kilometers per hour along parts of the north coast of the island. So, yeah, a little on the breezy and cool side. 14, the highlight there, Lab City. Now, for Monday, again, first, the long weekend snow probabilities, as I mentioned, I think it's a slushy mess. Gander into Terra Nova, but primarily where we have the best chance of seeing accumulation, Grand Falls, Windsor, and areas to the north and west. St. John's may see a coating Saturday night into Sunday, but I think overall it's the showers that win the day, win the battle between the snow and the rain there. Sunday afternoon into Monday, there's the low that's departing, and you can see where that messy mix continues to roll down that northeast coast. The west coast sees clearing, as does Labrador on Monday. Central, I think we'll see the precip taper off with mainly cloudy skies into Monday afternoon, but St. John's in the east, not so much. It's still looking quite unsettled on Monday. Highs near 3, showers and flurries, showers and drizzle for Central. Chance of a late day sunbreak. Western Newfoundland, Happy Valley, Goose Bay, Eastern Labrador, and Western Labrador looking pretty good indeed. And of course you have to pay your dues first with that next 24 hours or so. There's Tuesday, which looks like a beauty. I'll be telling the Pikes to hang out here for an extra day because that's looking like a pretty nice forecast. And overall, the good news is temperatures certainly looking more mild for next week and into Labrador. And again, next week looking at least mild, especially in Goose Bay, double digits, and flirting with the double digits in western parts of Labrador. So we're here at Pippi Park, and of course it's a May 24th weekend, and it's, as I mentioned, almost packed full. The Pikes were thankfully, were nice enough to invite us into their beautiful campsite here. And we've got Craig first off here. Craig, I want to ask you this. You've got a youngster here, but I want to know when you gave up the tent and went with the trailer.
About 10 or 11 years ago after he was born, I guess.
Yeah. So as soon as kids become involved, the tent kind of loses its appeal.
Oh, yeah. The snow flattens the tent too much.
The May 24th snow definitely flattens the tent. And I want to ask, did you wake up to snow on the tent?
Oh, yeah. A couple times.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any memorable stories?
Throw everything in the truck and head back to town.
Were you too far from town, or?
We were in Butterpot that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too far.
Close enough, close enough. And really that is, Dolores, almost the appeal here of Pippi Park, is that if it really turns south in terms of the weather, you're really not too far from home.
No, you're kind of here. You're in the middle of the city, but you wouldn't know, but you're in the heart of the country. Pippi Park is a beautiful place to camp. Our little guy in the summertime takes part in All-Star Soccer, so we still have our weekends to take him to soccer and avail of the camping season as well.
Perfect. And I got to ask you, it's Logan, right? Yeah. What is your favorite part about camping here at Pippi Park?
Going on my bike and playing with my friends and playing a game of soccer and going to the new park they just put in.
And Logan's friends pop by for a little visit. What about you guys? What's your favorite part about camping?
Playing with my friends, same as him. Playing with my friends, same as him and Logan.
Nice.
Playing with my friends, same with Logan and them.
So you guys have any big bike adventures this weekend, or hiking, or what's the one thing you really want to do this weekend?
I don't really go biking, so I'm more of a runner, not a biker.
Just slam down a bunch of marshmallows, some hot dogs.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, enjoy the weekend, guys. I'm glad you came over. We got a bit of a party here, which is great. And very thanks again to the Pikes. I know Craig was really looking forward to being on TV. So thanks for that. Craig, Dolores, and Logan, and everybody here. We'll be back one more time to check in on the fire. We got to throw a bit of more wood, and we'll talk to you on a little bit later.
Well, if you had lunch at...
Well, the cuteness factor is about to go way up as we introduce you to today's young athlete. This is Carrie Mae Budgell 3 years old who lives in Bishop's Falls.
Carrie May participates in the Can Skate program, and this picture was taken when she performed in an ice show last month, and soon she'll be trading in the ice for the soccer field.
Hats off to Carrie May. She's our Young Athlete of the Day.
Well, if you had lunch at your desk today, you're not alone. A study out this week from Dalhousie University in Halifax says eating habits are changing radically.
Almost 40% of people surveyed ate lunch at their desks. The author of the study says it's a sign of the pressure workers are under. It's almost a luxury, he says, to take the time to leave the workplace to eat.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Power was knocked out for thousands of people in New Brunswick after a severe storm. At its peak, close to 7,000 hydro customers were affected. Rolling storm clouds, high winds, and hail hit the Acadian Peninsula yesterday, and power lines were downed throughout the region. Worst hit were Shippagan and Caraquet. Crews are working to reopen the bridge to the island of Lamec after it was blocked by fallen power poles.
A Canadian is among those injured in yesterday's incident in Times Square when a car plowed through a group of pedestrians. New York police gave an update earlier today.
Of the 19 that were treated at local hospitals, 7 were admitted. There's still 3 that are in critical condition, and there's 1 that's very critical, and she is a 38-year-old woman from Canada.
Police have not yet identified the Canadian woman. The driver, Richard Rojas, has been charged with murder and another 20 counts of attempted murder. He's tested negative for alcohol. Police say they are expecting the results of his drug tests over the next few days.
Who needs a dog to play fetch with you when you can do it with a drone? This is called an omnicopter. It can fly steadily in almost any position.
But that is not its only trick. It can toss a ball into the air, and the drone is able to predict the ball's path, then maneuver into position to snag it. It's pretty cool, but it's still missing those puppy dog eyes. Couldn't agree more. Okay, it is time now to take a look at who's celebrating this week. Happy anniversary to Vicki and Dave Edison from Mount Pearl. They will celebrate 51 years of marriage on May 21st. Congratulations to John and Norma Kennedy from Pleasant Harbor, Nova Scotia, who celebrated their 60th anniversary yesterday. Happy 57th anniversary to Rodney and Ida Ford from Port aux Basques. They celebrated yesterday. Happy birthday to Bill Hot Shot Maloney from Clarenville. He'll celebrate his 91st birthday tomorrow. Also celebrating a birthday tomorrow is Abby Dove Manuels. She's turning 90 years old. Hope you have a happy birthday.
And family and friends of Dave and Jean Sparks of St. John's are wishing the couple a very happy 57th anniversary. Happy birthday to Melina Humphreys of Badgers Key, who celebrated her 94th birthday on May 12th. Happy anniversary to George and Joan Chafe of Petty Harbor, who celebrated their 58th wedding anniversary on May 14th. Happy birthday, Julia Irene Ryland of Lansaloo. She celebrated her 95th birthday on May 15th. Happy 91st birthday to Mary Shepherd of Harbor Grace, now living in Gander. She celebrated on May 16th.
Derek and Diane Williams will celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary on the 25th. Congratulations to you. Happy 90th birthday to Hazel Ringer, who's originally from Harbor Lacoo, but now lives in Labrador City. Congratulations to Myrtle and Jerry Randall of Burgeo, who celebrated their 66th anniversary on the 17th. Happy 50th anniversary tomorrow to Wilbert and Dorothy Stoyles of Labrador City. A golden anniversary also for Stan and Mabel Hunt of Gander. Congratulations.
Happy 97th birthday this Sunday to Jessie Wareham of Arnold's Cove. And here she is with her great-great-grandchildren. Happy 60th anniversary to Jim and Yvonne Saunders, who celebrated on May 18th. Happy 98th birthday to Albertha May, upwards of Shoalbrook. Happy 50th wedding anniversary on May 27th to John and Estelle Davis of Meadows, Bay of Islands. Happy 90th birthday to Mildred Huckster of Springdale.
Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Doreen and George Hooper from Buren, who will celebrate their big day tomorrow. Happy anniversary to Conrad and Pat Davis. They're celebrating 54 years of marriage. Happy 92nd birthday tomorrow to Mary Gale from Cape Anguille, now living in Bay St. George. Happy birthday to Minnie Parsons of Shearstown. She turns 96 today.
Happy 90th birthday to Gladys Lawrence of Isle of Mort. And celebrating her 97th birthday is Myrtle Collins Hodnott of Indian Islands, Notre Dame Bay. And happy 68th anniversary to Bill and Ruby Blake in Grand Falls, Windsor. They're originally from Notre Dame Bay.
That's going to do it for us. No Here and Now on Monday. We'll be back here Tuesday.
Yes, so let's throw things back now to Ryan at Pippi Park to take us out tonight.
Have a
How's
great
it going,
weekend.
Ryan?
Things are going really well. As you can see, I've got some company here. We're roasting some marshmallows, and we're talking about the art of roasting marshmallows. Of course, it's something you really have to focus on. That's right. You can't get it too close. Let's have a first quick look at the weather forecast before we go out here. Again, the highlights in the west. Wait for Monday. In the east, make sure you enjoy Saturday. In central, hunker down. And of course, back here, roasting some marshmallows. I hope everybody has a great and happy May 24th weekend. No matter the weather, stay safe and enjoy.
It's the 24th of May and we likes to get away, up in the woods or going out the bay. There's all kinds of places, but the place we likes to get is up on the highway in the gravel pits. We loves to go out in the good old gravel pits. We loves to go out there when life gets smelly. We can spray paint our names on the face of the cliff. Go up to the Irving for a Coke and chips. Hitches up the camper and out of town we go. Out on the highway with everything in tow. The dog is in the back seat and grandfather's drunk. The youngsters in the trailer and the wife is in the trunk. It's the 24th of May and we likes to get away, up in the woods or going out the bay. There's all kinds of places, but the place we likes to get is up on the highway in the gravel pits. John is coming over and Sue and Henry too. We polish off a bottle and a bag of stew. We tell a few stories with an awful lot of lies. Green boughs on the fire to keep away the flies. The youngsters gets excited, then they starts to bounce and jump. And when we piles in the car and goes up to the dump, it's cheaper than the movie, so we all sits and stares up by the garbage while you're looking at the bear. It's the 24th of May and we likes to get away, up in the woods or going out the bay. There's all kinds of places, but the place we likes to get is up on the highway in the gravel pits. Flies a goofy flag on an old spruce pole. It drowns a few worms in the tractor mud hole. Listens to the radio, we plays it good and loud. A scoff on the Coleman stove is bound to draw a crowd. And when the weekend's over, we're headed back to town. A half-inch of sloppy snow lying on the ground. $100 for a buck who wants to be rich. We just had a lovely time out in the pits. It's the 24th of May and we likes to get away, up in the woods or going out the bay. There's all kinds of places, but the place we likes to get is up on the highway in the gravel pits. Is up on the highway in the gravel